Ranked up here.
I'm good, if y'all are.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending the Mississippi Advisory Commission on Marine Resources for August 19th at the D'Iberville City Boardroom. I want to call to order the meeting and then also clarify that Jason Osborne is going to be online with us via Zoom. Do you have us, Jason? Commissioner Osborne is going to be online. There he is. All right. Let's move into the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Daniels, will you lead us, please? All right. Thank you, Commissioner. General, would you like to lead us in a moment of silence, please?
Yeah, and before we go into this, I want everybody to just think about it. Bad as I hate to say the word, we're in the hot time of the year, and let's all be careful. And then, let's make sure that we're ready. Make sure that we've done everything that we can do to prepare ourselves, and maybe the good Lord will spare us of no issues this year. And I'm not going to mention the word because it always jinxes me. So, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. And also, I want to tell you to caution everybody, caution your loved ones and your friends and all about when you're getting into the water and you have a cut on your leg or you have any type of, scrape or anything else. Be very careful, and especially around boat launches. Boat launches seems to be one of the places that is happening right now to where the Vibrio is in the brackish water. And so you need to look at it. And number one, if you do that, when you get through, just take some peroxide or some alcohol and whatever, and clean that cut area out when you get out of the water. That'll give you a lot better chance of being able to prevent this. But we've had over 20 cases right now, and we need to, luckily we have not had anyone die from it. Between Florida and Louisiana, 7 have. So let's just keep ourselves, understand what's going on out there. Be careful and watch out for your kids more than anything, your grandkids, because they're not the ones that's getting it as much as the adults right now. So be careful with it and understand where we're at, okay? Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to have this great commission and also this agency. And we ask you, Lord, just to give us the wisdom and the guidance to do what we need to do to run it your way and not ours. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Director. All right. Moving down to the approval of the minutes. Ma'am? I moved that down below the approval of the minutes
You got to do
earlier.
it so we can get it on the, oh, it's on the agenda in the wrong place.
Okay. You don't want to go
Just
ahead
do
and
it as it is.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move into the election of the officers. So first, I want to take a nominations for a chairman, a new chairman. Do we have any nominations for that?
Y'all don't be silent.
I'll make a nomination to Jonathan McClendon.
I'll second that.
All right. Well, let's take we need to take a vote on the nomination. So all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we got to move on.
Didn't say anything. What's the matter?
Now we have to move on to a vote for the actual position. So, do we have a vote for Jonathan McClendon for the chairman? All
Aye.
in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. Thank you,
Now we-
Commissioner McClendon. All right. So moving on, do we have any nominations for a vice chairman?
I'll nominate Matthew Mayfield.
I'll second. All right, all in favor of the nomination?
Aye.
All right, moving on to a vote for the vice chairman, Commissioner Mayfield. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I think we got through it.
This, and we change that to next meeting,
Okay, good.
so we don't dump it on them right now.
Yeah. Immediate. Just kidding. All right, thanks everyone. All right, so moving on to the approval of the minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to review, and are there any questions?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good. Okay, perfect. All right, to the agenda. We're going to move into the approval of the agenda, but we do have we're going to have to make an adjustment here. So I want to make a motion to approve the agenda to add an executive session for the possible litigation. And we're going to move that executive session down to G1, and the remainder of the resource management will go to G2. Do we have any questions on that? If not, do we have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, that's the approval of the agenda and the amendment. So we'll move into the executive director's report. Director, it's all yours.
Okay. TJ, come here a minute. But, all right, yeah, we got a couple of things here on the director's report. First off, we need to go into the employment contract. And, we could do the employment contracts. Well, next slide, please. Okay, and we see the ones on the employment contract and what we have. And we have Madison Parker. And Madison, I don't know if she's in here or not, but Madison has been moved to a Environmental Natural Resources Specialist 3. Madison was one of our interns several years ago. And she came to us as an intern out of University of Southern Mississippi, and then wound up going to work in CZM, I think. And then after that, she went to fisheries. So great to be able to move her up. Reed Burden is promoted to Law Enforcement 2. He's a corporal. Caleb Vick is also Law Enforcement 3. He's a staff sergeant now. So it's always great to be able to, bring our law enforcement up and see them move forward. And these guys started out as cadets, I guess, basically, and going to school and then being able to be officers. And we got another one, Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams is now the Human Resource Manager. She has taken Christy's place. Christy's staying with us for a little while. She's going to hang with us to the end of the year to help us. And Christy's going to be allowing us to, she's helping Michelle to be able to navigate, how to move forward in this. And we appreciate Christy, first off. Thank you, Christy, for the years of service. What do you got, 15, 16? Long time with us, and we appreciate that. And Christy's she's going to retire and go see if she can enjoy some life, and because of it's time in life to have fun. And so we wish her the very best in everything that she does. And we welcome Michelle in the job, and we know that she'll do a good job. And thank you for staying with us to help us, Christy. Any questions on that? Okay, not. We don't have any contracts, right? Okay. So Bolton Building, I got an update yesterday. It looks like we may be October now before we move up anymore. We're in the Bolton Building as we speak right now. 90% of the agency, or 80%, is in the Bolton Building. About 80% all jammed up in fisheries and other places. And so we're able to get back and not have to pay the rent every month. And that is a great thing. But I was told yesterday that they're a little bit behind on the contract, and it looks like the 5th and 6th floor is probably going to be somewhere around not September, but maybe October. So we're talking another month and a half or something like that before we'll be able to get in there and be able to get back full-fledged where we're at. And then when we do that, there'll still be roof, they're redoing the roof, and so there'll still be work there. But we'll get there. You can still come meet with us. You can still come to the Bolton building and meet with us and talk to us about what you need. We have, obviously, Aisha and them are still out at the near, and will stay there. And then we have CR, Rhonda's group and Heritage and all, and they're at the, what's the name of it? Charnley House. They're over at the Charnley House, and then we got some people still down in Pass Christian with law enforcement and other things that are working out at different buildings. But we'll make it. We'll get there. Any questions? We're going to have a good building when we get it. 2019, 2020 Bonnie Carey, everything's fine. We're waiting on just a couple of things. You know, we had asked to convert some money from one pot of money to another, and we're waiting on NOAA to give us that permission to be able to do that. Right now, we're looking at a little bit $2 million that we're going to move, and we're going to move it into seafood marketing. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be marketing for seafood, and we're going to help roll out this new campaign that we're doing, that we're working with Coastal Mississippi, and we're also working with Visit Mississippi, and we're working with the Secretary with Ag. And we're all rolling out this big campaign, and the campaign's going to be, what we're going to be able to do is to basically, if you're serving domestic seafood as a majority of what you're serving, you're going to get some types of symbols and whatever to put in your office, in your buildings, in your restaurants, in your markets, whatever. And then we're just pushing hard, and we're going to advertise. We're going to have billboards up. We're going to have, when you come into Mississippi and any one of the major area tributaries coming in, it's going to say something about Mississippi seafood. And we're going to talk about the seafood. And we're going to have this for cruising now. And so we're doing a soft opening of this for cruising the coast. So this is going to be a big thing if we get it done. We have some seed money to be able to get that done prior to NOAA approving the other. But the project that we're looking at is a $9 million 5-year project. So it's a big project that we're doing, and we're putting this into Mississippi seafood. We're doing this for 2 or 3 reasons. Number one, we need to take care of our fishermen. We need to make sure that they have a job to do, and they are able to sell their fish and their shrimp and their oysters and their crabs and everything, and be able to get the good market for it. Number two, we want you to eat domestic. We want you to eat the good food and not eat the trash that's coming from other countries. And I'll talk to maybe a little bit about it, but I don't know if it's on my calendar or not, about the USDA meeting. If not, is it? But I'll bring it up now. I was in Washington last Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, and I met with the USDA, and we talked about what we're going to be able to do and how we're going to be able to help people to be able to keep this industry going in Mississippi. And one of the things that we talked about was our shrimp processors. Well, our shrimp processors especially are having some issues right now with EPA, and it's the water quality, and it's going into the Mississippi Sound or into the bays or whatever. And it's a large amount of money that they're going to try to do something to basically, it's going to get to a point, we keep pushing back, but they keep pushing the processors to be able to put some type of purification system in, and Jonathan could probably talk a lot about that. But and what we're trying to do is we're trying to do something to be able to help all of them. So one of the things we're looking at is a seafood industrial park. And the seafood industrial park will be north of I-10 if we get to do it, and it will be where we can take our processors and they'll move them north of I-10. And we'll take the crab processors, shrimp processors, even the oyster processors, and the fish, and we can move it north of I-10, and we can build a filtration system to be able to take care of that product that's going in, and be able to take that and even sell it for a fertilizer maybe or some other type, and be able as a byproduct and not waste it, and then turn around and when we have shrimp hulls, we can be able to take that and keep them from having to take the shrimp hulls into a landfill and do a process of them, and be able to sell that process to maybe build some cold storage. So we'll have cold storage for everybody, to help out. Y'all all know how we're hurting for that on the coast. And a large amount of our seafood is trucked in and not brought in just to the dock. It's brought into a dock somewhere, I understand, but a lot of it's trucked in. So this will be something too, and it'll get them north of the interstate. It'll help the processors. If we get this done, it'll help them because they will be able to now not they won't have to worry about number one hurricanes as much. You know, if when we have a hurricane on the coast or something to any type, then or bad weather, it shuts them down for months, days to months, and that's time lost, and everything is done. You know, it's cost them money. This way, maybe it will be a limited amount. That's what it would be. Number two is the cost of insurance for them. It's killing them. And they, you know, the insurance for have a process of place right here on the coast is killing them. And so those two things, and then we'll be able to have quicker in and out because they'll have direct access to 49 to 67 to, you know, all the Interstate 10 and everything else. And there'll be a quick movement on stuff. So USDA, as they said the other day, we had no idea what was going on in South Mississippi till I came up, and they said that they were definitely going to try to help us. So they're going to try to help us to be able to put something together, and we appreciate that. So if you talk to your congressmen, you talk to your senators, talk up about getting USDA to help us, all right? Because this will be a huge thing. If we do this, Mississippi could come back to be the seafood capital of the world. And if we do this, they could come back and we could bring things in from Alabama and from Louisiana and all, and do it processing right here. So I didn't mean to get on a long thing there, but it was a great meeting. I met with the undersecretary and we talked about it, and we met with a lot of the key staff. And I tell you, it was just a great meeting on what's going on. And so hopefully we'll get something done there. Any questions? August 16th through 18th, that was what I was just talking about. I didn't see it on the agenda, but that was what we were just talking about. That was the meeting, and Commissioner Gibson is the one who asked me to go up there with him, and so we brought a group of people up, and it was a good meeting up there. All right, MDMR is closed on September the 7th for Labor Day. September 10th and 11th, we have a GOA annual meeting, and that's in Fairhope, and we'll go there, and there'll be several people from the agency that'll be there to be able to look at different projects that they do. September 12th, the 45th annual Biloxi Seafood Festival at the lawn on Harris, at Harris is there. We're a key sponsor for that, so if you want to have a good time, I'm sure there'll be a lot of seafood out there and a lot of fun to be able to go and enjoy it. Seafood Task Force, we met on the 10th, and we're going to meet again next month. And one of the things that we're doing is basically getting everything set up to be able to do just what we were talking about with the task force itself, of being able to get this big push out with the initial soft push being cruising the coast. Because we get 100,000 people. You don't get 100,000 people every day in South Mississippi that want to just see something different. So we're going to get a lot there. And so we're pushing for that. And one of the things that we're doing, we're still cooking for that. And, you know, we'll do the cooking at a couple of places there at the, I guess it's called Cruising Central. And, you know, where they check in. And then we'll be on Town Green on a Wednesday, I think. That Wednesday, we'll be at Town Green from about 10 to 1 or somewhere in that time frame, and and we're going to put boiled shrimp out again, and we're going to give them boiled shrimp, and you know, tell them about how great it is, and then tell them where they can go buy it, and then see if we can't get them a cooler to go fill it up. So we're gonna try to do everything we can to get people buying that. But cruising is a big thing, and we'll enjoy that. And once again, we're title sponsor for cruising again this year, so that's first week in October, I think 7 through 12 or something. But it'll be a good time, a lot of fun. And I talked to Woody the other day, and he said they're above where they were last year. So now they're expecting a lot more than 10,000 cars. So it ought to be a good time. Any questions? All right, let's see. September the 14th is the next meeting. The next commission meeting is Tuesday the 15th at September 15th at 9 a.m. Right now, we'll keep it here until we decide what we're going to do with the building, if that's okay, everybody. All right. Foundation scholarships. We had 2 foundation scholarships that were given out this year, and I don't have the names, but it was 2 family members that were given a scholarship, and they were given a $5,000 scholarship to study for some form of marine science. And so that's a good thing. And so we were able to do that, and hopefully next year we'll be able to expand that a little bit and be able to give more scholarships. I talked to the foundation board about it, and we're trying to tweak some things on it. But one of the things I want to bring in is accounting, HR, other things that we do in the agency. We have to have those too. We need them just as much as we need scientists and all. So why not help with scholarships? So that's what we're looking at. Any questions? All right, red snapper season. For the first time in 4 years, we're going to open back up. We're opening it up on the 4th of September, and we'll close on the 7th of September. We have a little around 18,000 pounds still that we feel that we can catch, and we'll see where we're at with that, depending on the weather and what the good Lord gives us, and what will amount to that. But hopefully, this is something that we're getting to move forward. And hopefully next year we'll even have more allocation, and to be able to do that. And we need to thank Trevor, because Trevor Moncrief is fighting for us every day on the SSC to help us get that. And he's going to fight a battle in September for us again with it. So we need to thank him. Not only is he's now over fisheries, but he's also doing that for us. So we appreciate that. And we need to keep that battle going. But hope everybody has a chance to get out and go do a little snapper fishing for that another time. And if we'll see where we're at, if there's any left over, we'll continue for another weekend or something. Any questions? All right, one other thing. We had to close speckled trout, commercial speckled trout season. We closed last night, and it's because, we've reached our quota, and that's something we need to look at in the future. But any questions on that? You got to hit that button on the top.
Yeah, can't hardly get it. I got it. How long has it been since we've raised the quota or done anything with that quota?
All right, come on, Matt. You the man. I want to say 15, 16. What was it?
Yeah, it's serious now, so I got it going. Yeah, we raised it in 2015. We initially, the quota was set at 35,000 pounds in 1996. We raised it in 2012 or 13 to 40,000 pounds, and that was just because of an anomaly. We were trying to, the season used to start on October 1st. We were working to start it with the calendar year, so we had to do a little creative math. We raised it that time for that, and then in 15, and I believe it started in 16, somewhere in that ballpark, we raised it to 50,000 pounds. So it's been, like I said, it's only been truly raised one time since 1996, since its inception. And that's kind of where we are with that. And then there were all, if you want to get into some of the other, but obviously there has been some fluctuations in the fishery, but we were consistently catching our quota for a little while, and then we had a lot of participants in there. So endorsements were created. We have had several iterations of how to implement these endorsements. I can't say that any of them have been very successful. We made a few mistakes, so that's another consideration that we have been looking at. But yes, we have only raised it significantly one time since 1996.
We've been bouncing around this subject since I became a commissioner and trying to find the sweet spot on it. And in my opinion, there's 2 goals here. Number one, let the commercial fishermen do what they do. Let them catch fish, let them make money. And number 2, having the opportunity at fresh, local caught speckled trout on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for our seafood markets and our restaurants. Our spawning ratio is good.
Yes.
Our fishery's good. And these guys are, they're a very small percentage of the overall catch.
Yes.
I would not be opposed to doing an increase on the quota. keeping it open, you know, if we could keep it open for them all year long, I think that would be great. And with the spike and endorsements, maybe we need to tweak that a little bit more as well.
So the endorsements, and I mean, you know, in all transparency, Ronnie and I have talked about this a few times, but we did a fairly thorough analysis here recently, and the endorsements, we got 155 right now. That's the highest we've ever had since the endorsements have been put into place. We truly only had, when we started the endorsements, you know, we always felt like this was about a 65 to 70 person fishery, that what it could support at that time. The numbers are showing that we have around between 50 and 60 people catching all of the quotas. So you basically have 100, I hate to use the word latent endorsements, but you do have about 100 people that are not taking advantage of the endorsement there. But in also saying that when you get rid of those endorsements, it's really not going to make a difference because they're not participating in the fishery. But the reasoning behind the endorsements was to knock some of the people down in the fishery, to get it back to these guys that are truly trying to supplement their income. A lot of these guys participate in other fisheries. When you look at the numbers, several of them have other licensed crab licenses, shrimp licenses. Kind of runs the gamut. So it's a seasonal thing. Everybody up here knows at this point, it's extremely difficult to make it in the seafood industry by doing just one thing. So that's kind of where this came from. And the time that we were in there, we were also having some other issues. So it's definitely a consideration of raising the quota. It's just how much do you raise it? What is the goal? And to get the endorsement number back down to where we originally intended it to be. So, and also to keep in mind, the price of the products have gone up, especially when you're talking about some of the fisheries. I feel like they've leveled off is what we've seen, but to qualify for these endorsements, you're having to catch less quantity. So that was a big thing too. How much quantity, how many trips would it take these guys? And that's where some of the initial numbers were based off of. They're a little skewed now, but that's just a little bit of history on how we got here. But for the last 2 years, we have met the quota, and we met it fairly easy. Last year, if I remember correctly, we closed at the end of June or early July. We have just currently closed, so we got about another 45 days. So obviously the goal of spanning it throughout the year, we're not doing a very good job of it right now, and we just need to figure out the best path forward to try to get these guys some more days. So,
You know, commercial fishermen, even charter boat captains, it's a bunch of pieces of a whole pie, right? That's what it takes to put it together.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's ever made a living off speckled trout alone.
that's correct.
These guys work hard, and they have been getting kicked for 10 or 12 years now between environmental, you know, everything else. I would be in favor of, I think the projections of going up 70,000 pounds would give us, looks like a full year, correct?
Yeah, I saw. So if you get, and these are, you know, just based off the peak trajectory that we've had in the last 2 years, and I know all of y'all fish, and y'all understand that at any point this can turn around. I mean, this is the best fisher we've had since I can remember. I mean, there's nothing with the quota that's going to necessarily change that. There's nothing maybe with some of the recreational fishery, they're going to have a little bit more of an impact, but Mother Nature is going to catch up with us eventually. But for the time being, I mean, if we use the trajectory for the last 2 years, 60,000 pounds looks like it would get us about 300 days. Right now we're at 200 days. 50,000 pounds getting us about 200 days of fishing. 60,000 looks like it'll get us about 300 days, and 70,000 would get us approximately the entire year based on the last 2 years of participation in catch rates.
You know, I think you couple that with ensuring that the commercial fishermen have got a hand in it, true commercial fishermen that are doing multiple things. move that qualifier up a little bit, see if we can't get that tweaked to the right place too.
Yeah, and like I said, it wouldn't really affect the guys that we're seeing. I mean, if right now there's, I don't know if everybody is familiar with it, but it is a $1,000 finfish threshold in the trip ticket system. We're fairly lenient on that. We allow the year before and the year of, so we actually allow them to fish into it, which has worked. I mean, I think we should continue to do that. And a $5,000 overall seafood product. So that also allows your crabbers and your shrimpers that are dabbling in it to continue to be able to do that. My recommendation would be to not change the 5,000, but to definitely look at the finfish, the finfish threshold and possibly raise it. And like I said, a lot of it has to do with when that threshold was set. The prices were lower. I mean, we're talking about several years ago. Now the prices are higher. It necessarily wouldn't change the quantity of finfish that they were selling. It's just like everything else, the price per pound has gone up.
And just, I'm sorry, just for clarity, it's not and, it's or on
It's
those
or.
two
That is
qualifiers.
correct.
If they reach either one,
Either one.
And I know that, this is of course a staple on the Gulf Coast menus, and it may kind of sound counterintuitive, but like if we're only supplying speckled trout to these local restaurants for 200 days a year, the remaining, 160 days of the year, then they're going to have to go out and find a substitute. And there's a good chance that that substitute is some type of imported product that is then going to turn around and put price pressure on the speckled trout. Like, is that a concern of the fishermen's?
That is a concern, and that's actually a concern that myself and several of us in this room have talked about. Trevor, Eric, Rick in particular. We have started seeing it come back on menus. We've seen it as lunch specials. Several of the Fayards are doing it. I was in the Rack House a few weeks ago. That was actually one of the fish you could get with your dinner. I mean, I haven't seen that in a long time. But in also saying that, I do know that some of our seafood dealers have prepared. They understand that they knew that we were going to close. I mean, our trip ticket staff does a very good job of communicating with them. So some of the product that is still available is local because they do freeze it. It is not a fresh product, but they prepare for the fall months when we know that they're going to close. So yes, we still do have product. Do we have more imported product coming at that time? Probably, just to fill it. But our dealers have adjusted. But obviously, with the new push that Director Spraggins has been leading. I mean, obviously, we want fresh domestic product throughout the year, and at the current rate to do that, we would have to make some changes to this quota.
One thing that we used to do, and it was almost every time you walked into a restaurant in South Mississippi, it was catch of the day, and it was fresh. And I've seen that several times in South Mississippi this year, that I walk in and they would be able to do the catch of the day, and it was speckled trout. And that's a good thing. I mean, it may be snapper when snapper season's going, and it can be a cobia or anything else. But the point I'm getting at is this is a fishery that South Mississippi's known for, and to have it on the menu for catch of the day and to have it fresh. And I mean, a lot of these places, I've seen several here in Mississippi recently that will not serve anything but what is fresh that they can get the night before or whatever, for the catch of the day. And they're not going to do it. And so we're going to take this away from our people to be able to actually eat that wonderful fresh fish if we don't do something with it.
hey, can we bring stuffed crabs back too? I don't ever see them anywhere. I used to love those things. One last thing, our 15-inch limit is what got us to where we are, right?
That's correct.
We're right at the target that we set for our SPR. We all see how great the fishing is. It's always been a question in the corner of the room.
and like I say, in full transparency again, I mean, I try to be as open. I think Ronnie was part of that at that point. Rick continuously makes fun of me about it, and he is right. So we went down to the 13 inches in 2008 in the recreational fishery. It was a mistake. We paid for it. We had to dig ourselves out the hole. The percent SPR fell into the single digits for a while. And at that time, the actual commercial fishermen and the dealers came to us and said they do not want to go to 13 inches. They want to stay at 14 inches. They had no desire. They said that was not a marketable fish. Just leave us alone. Leave us at 14 inches. So 8 years passed, and we did get it raised back up to where it needed to be with the current 15-inch size limit. We only did it for the recreational fishery. We left the commercial fishery out of there. A lot of it was out of spite, just because they took the initiative and said they would rather stay at the 14 inches. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to penalize them. And we had the commission on board at that time, so we left it at 14 inches. There was no real resource reason or biological reason to do that. It was out of principle, and a lot of it was on my part. But it is time. There's very little pushback. We've talked to the dealer. We talked to the fishermen. There's no reason not to make them even again to move that to the 15 inch. That's what they're saying. They're saying less than 5% of the fish coming into the dealers sold from the fishermen are less than 15 inches. So that would be also a consideration to make the size limit even across the board now.
I think it's 3 good points. There's plenty of 15-inch fish out there. We see it every day. So
Yeah, Commissioner, I think just from what I've heard here, and unless there's more comments that y'all want to make on it, I would think that y'all need to ask the staff, it's not on the agenda right now to be able to do any motions or anything, to do something, but maybe ask the staff to come back and give you next meeting an update. And I think the 3 things that I'm hearing here are maybe raising the quota, of what it would do to raise the quota and commercial speckled trout. Number 2, the limit, the size limit. Do we look at 15 inches to match up and see what that would do? And number 3 is what it takes to qualify, the qualifications as to whether we need to change that and the numbers. Is that correct, Commissioner?
Yes, I'll make that request.
Yeah.
All right, we need a motion on that to do that? All right, if y'all could make a motion for us to do that,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll let-
Just
Thank
to
you,
be
Matt.
clear, this is gonna have to go out on, excuse me, notice of intent, because this is gonna be a regulation change. But they're gonna bring it back at the next meeting with their proposed recommended changes, and then you guys will vote on that. Okay,
okay.
And then we'll have a 30-day process after that.
right.
for the
It'll
additional-
go out on a 30-day comment period, and then it'll be brought back to the next commission for vote on final adoption.
That'd
All
be
right.
October.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Thank
you, Matt. All right, couple other quick things, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you, sir. Let's see where I'm at. We had 264 derelict vessel cases that we have been reported right now. 230 have been removed, 34 are pending removal, and we have 3 that are in court orders. Any questions on that? And once again, we're leading the Gulf in this, and it's amazing what they're doing, and we appreciate their efforts on it. Next thing's actions update.
Okay, at the July meeting, the commission recommended and the director approved after the fact certification of piers and boathouses as they were already constructed by William Kinney. They also required the removal of the unauthorized fill that was not approved under the general permit by October 19, 2026. There was a second motion in that matter to fine the homeowner and the contractor a total of $2,850 with both the homeowner and the contractor splitting that amount 50/50. The other motion was to recommend approval of a state saltwater finfish record for youth conventional tackle for a bonnet head shark, 8 pounds, 11.2 ounces for Jackson Collender. And that's it.
Ready? You done, Director?
I am.
All right.
All right, so that's everything we got. We don't have to make a motion on none of that, right?
No, sir.
I was waiting on a motion, I'm sorry. All right. Well, sir, I appreciate it. Sorry for taking up so much time, but
All right. Thank you, Director. Lots of good information as always, and I truly can attest to the our trout fishery's been phenomenal. It really has. So it's been
one
really
last
good.
thing. I can't do this without thanking Jonathan McClendon for helping me and giving me a lot of the wisdom and everything else to go forward with this seafood industrial park.
Well, General, I just bring you a problem, and you and the good folks of the DMR here put a lot of thought and effort behind this. But, I mean, really, I see it going on in other areas of the country, and I firmly believe it. That Mississippi has the ability, as other states continue. Everybody wants the glory, nobody wants to deal with all the problems. So this is a benefit to the entire Gulf Coast, and I think it's got the opportunity to turn into something really special.
Well, I feel the push has definitely been warranted because first order of business, walking into a restaurant, you're looking at the menu, whether it's the fish or the shrimp, and it's domestic now. I just feel like there's a lot of people on board, so it's making an impact. I mean, there's no doubt.
Well, I keep running my mouth, but back in 2024, when they tested the shrimp on the coast in Mississippi area, 16, I think, or 18% of the restaurants were serving Gulf. That they did it in 2026, and they were 64% serving it. It is
Yeah.
catching up.
Okay.
People are looking at it.
Great. All right. Okay, moving on. Did any of the commissioners have anything they want to report on today? Good. All right. Well, I guess we'll move down to Chief Wilkerson for the report on citations.
Good morning.
Morning, Chief.
Glad to have you back, sir. Made you got home safely. All right, so this report's going to kind of look at the July citation report and everything, as you know. And as we all know, July 1st was the probable cause law went into effect. We were able to write 72 boat water safety citations that month with probable cause. So, I mean, violations are out there. They'll always be out there, but we always, when we do boat water safety checks, we always use probable cause. All right. There was also 52 fishery citations written for that month. So the men and women of Marine Patrol have been very busy. They do a phenomenal job. They make my job easy sometimes and hard sometimes, but mostly easy. Other than that, nothing jumps out at me. As we all know, one incident happening on July 4th. We can't talk about that. As you know, the drowned itself. So other than that, I can field any questions.
Any questions for Chief?
I just want to thank y'all. I know y'all were out in force, and I know you put a lot of effort in the situation on July the 4th, and we appreciate everything. And oh, by the way, can I, real quick, we work with National Park Service, and National Park Service and I went over and met with them, and we talked about what we could do and what we could help, and to be able to have more enforcement and all. And Chief, you might want to expand on this. On Labor Day weekend now, you're gonna have officers on the ground
Yes. My
on
reserve
one island and
are
other.
going to be walking the beaches at high capacity hours and all that stuff during the, I think they start at noon. They're going to stay out there past dark. They would be walking the beaches and just talking with folks and presenting enforcement or normally if somebody sees somebody in uniform, they don't do crazy stuff. That's our whole premise of doing it. They will write citations if that's the case. All my reserves are certified, so they can also write citations. They will be also being paid to do it, contract.
Yeah, thank you for the Senate and House and the governor for allowing us to be able to pay our reserves
Yep.
and special things like this.
But we're
But
gonna go out
I
there.
think this is gonna be huge. Talking to National Park Service, it really changed their idea of what they were gonna do with the islands on holidays. I mean, I won't go into it because I don't want to bring up something that they didn't already publicize or anything else.
Yes.
But they were some things that they were looking at that they felt like they were gonna have to do. But because the state of Mississippi stepped up and said, we will help and we will do something, it changed everything about how they were able to do stuff. So thank y'all.
Yes,
Any questions for Chief? Thank you for the report.
thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
All right. Okay, moving down, it looks like, per the amended, agenda, we're gonna move into a, executive session. Do we have a motion to move into that executive session for the potential litigation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll call. Oh, you have the number? Can I use your phone?
Good? Good. Okay. Well, we want to close the executive session and open back up at the regular session. Do we have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The reason for this was for the procedural.
If you want me to, I can give just a
Okay. Yes.
briefing on
Yes,
the
ma'am.
executive
Please, thank
session. I
you.
can do that. Okay, and Ronnie made the second motion. All right, so a motion was made to go into executive session to discuss prospective litigation, and that was made by Ronnie, and it was seconded by Commissioner McClendon. Once inside the room, a motion was made by Commissioner Daniels to open the executive session, and that was seconded by Matt Mayfield. There was a lot of discussion about procedural issues surrounding prospective litigation. There were no motions and/or decisions made regarding the subject matter discussed. The motion was made by Ronnie to close executive session and go back into regular session, and that was seconded by Commissioner McClendon. And then the motion was made to open back in regular session by Commissioner Mayfield and seconded by Commissioner Daniels. So I think we've got it.
All right. Thank you for that explanation. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. All right. Moving down to Office of Resource Management, Ms. Willa.
Good morning. I have a presentation on a petition for reconsideration by Lemuel Construction. The location's on the Jordan River at 104 Good Street in Bay St. Louis. It's a general use district. Just as a reminder, the project was presented to the commission last month on July 21st. And after the fact, approval was granted for existing boathouses and piers that were constructed out of compliance with Mr. Kenny's issued permit. Both the property owner and the permittee, William Kenny, and the contractors responsible for the construction of the structures, which is Lemuel Construction, were issued fines in the amount of $1,425 each. And Lemuel has petitioned for reconsideration of that decision. So the commission now has 4 options for your advisory motion. You can make you can recommend a final disposition of the petition by either granting or denying the requested action without further argument. You can request a response from DMR staff prior to making that final disposition. The matter can be set for an evidentiary hearing, or the matter, you can make such further order as you deem appropriate under the circumstances. So at this point, I believe we need a motion for which of those 4?
Not necessarily a motion.
Oh, okay.
There doesn't have to be a motion. They can just decide which one they want.
Okay, well, I think what we need to do is discuss some issues that we have with this. So, Sandy, you want to lead us in what we're doing there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Sandy, would you lead us into a discussion on what we?
Yes. So unfortunately, the procedures that were followed in recommending and issuing the fines in this case were not the correct procedures that should have been followed. The legislature changed the law several years ago after the role of the commission was changed to advisory, but the previous law that was in place was followed in this case. So there are notice and opportunity for responses provided in the new law that are not included in the old law. So at this time, the department would request that the commission recommend to the director that the motion regarding the fines made at the July 19th meeting be rescinded and allow the staff to proceed under the correct procedures. If that motion passes, the matter will be brought back before the commission at a later date following the new procedures. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was, who seconded?
I did.
You did.
Okay, and now, you know, what we will do is we'll follow the procedures that we're supposed to have done, and that will be, Sandy, would you mind briefing those procedures?
Those procedures are in 4915-401. Basically, anytime there's a violation under coastal wetlands was included in the administrative procedures for these violation procedures. Then a complaint will be made in writing to the property owner, and in this case, also the contractor. The complaint will be filed with the director. The director will review the complaint, and then staff will send or deliver a copy of the complaint and any supporting documents to the alleged violators, along with a request that they respond to the allegations within 30 days. And then, if there's a recommended fine, that will also be included. The new statute provides for fines of up to $10,000 per violation. So it's a big change from what we've had before. So, and then once that process goes through, the director will make the decision, or his designee, which in this case would probably be the commission, to come in and consider the alleged fines in commission meeting. The commission would make their recommendation to the director, and then the director would make the final decision. There's also provisions in this statute for informal settlement conferences that wasn't provided before. There's also provisions for evidentiary hearings, appeals, and things like that. So it's a very long, drawn-out process, but, you know, that's what we have, and that's what we're going to follow.
Yeah, first off, I apologize for not following the rules. As the executive director, I'm responsible for that. So we will follow the rules, and we will move forward. This is the first time we'd had one of these cases since the statute had changed, and so it was something that brought to us. But we will now go back and correct things. Nothing wrong with making a mistake. Nothing wrong with learning a lesson. I'm not going to learn that one twice, either one of them. So, you know, we made this mistake. We will move it, and we will go forward. And now we will give due process what it should have. And that's the way we should do things. And, you know, I just apologize to the the homeowner and to the contractor for what we doing it wrong, but we will correct it and do it right. And we will give you all your correct time to do what you need to do to be able to respond.
Thank you, Director. We do have a public comment regarding this, the discussion from Jacob Lemuel.
You want to make,
Just, sir, just state your name and then your city, and then you have 3 minutes.
if you
If you can, yeah.
If it,
Can
You
make
can
it.
bring-
If not,
yeah.
we can pass you the mic.
hey, we can get the mic.
got
You
it.
just stay right where you
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Hey, hey, sir, just stay right where you at. We get the mic to you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Sorry about that. All right. Hello. Good morning, commissioners, director. My name is Jacob Lemuel with Lemuel Construction. Thank you for taking our petition so promptly. We appreciate it. I would have had Mr. Kenny here today, and I wanted to, and he wanted to be here, but he couldn't because of a prior work obligation. So he asked me to hand a signed statement. May I provide you guys copies of that?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And Sandy, we can put this statement on record. Is that correct?
Yes, anything submitted to the commission will be on public record.
We'll just, and we'll get a copy to her
Yeah,
so she
sure.
can have it, if you don't
Thank you.
mind.
I want to be clear about what we're asking here because it's really narrow. We're not asking that the commission add anything to Mr. Kinney or to change his fine. That's entirely the commission's business. We're only asking that the portion assessed to Lemuel be rescinded. The reason is, in the record you made on July 21st, Mr. Kinney told you the exceedance was his, and he added on as he went that he never showed us the full scope of the project, and that he filled out the applications and put our names on them himself. When the director offered him the full fine that day, he accepted. His statement in front of you today says he stands by that. His acceptance isn't a request to double his fine, it's the record showing where responsibility for this violation lies. Our filing on this project, the modification I submitted at Mr. Kinney's direction as a favor, I drew myself. I did it deliberately within the 2,000 square foot limit. The construction beyond it came from scope he has acknowledged he withheld from us. I'll say it plainly. None of us are ever going to take a client's word that they have the permits without the documents in our hands. That's a lesson I learned the hard way. I own it. What I'd ask the commission to consider is that the penalty follow the man who made the decisions and withheld the plans. On the statement that we've had previous compliance issues, no record of any prior issue was identified at the meeting or since, and we are aware of none. Our family has done this work on this coast since 1947. It's 4 generations. That name is the reason why I filed the petition. It's not over $1,400. It isn't the money. We've taken this seriously. We've strengthened our practices, our protocols, and we'll keep helping to get Good Street into compliance. We respect this commission and the department staff, and we ask only that the fine follow the record. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
So I've got 2 comments. Number one, whenever this does come back, I would like to see a list of any infractions from Lemuel and the dates on them. My big question for Lemuel and not knowing how'd you know where to put the pilings?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How'd you know where to put the pilings?
I myself would have to answer that in writing. I wasn't involved in placing the pilings themselves or construction on the project beyond doing a very minor role in the permitting.
Commissioners, I think we ought to table this.
Okay.
And I think we should table this to give them the time to do what they need to do on what we're doing on the new process. And then let's ask those questions if we have them at that time, sir, if you don't mind.
Sounds
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Ms. Charmaine, Public Affairs.
Good morning. The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources had 27 media mentions since the July MACMR meeting. News items included red snapper and other season openings, last month's fish record, and the agency returning to the Bolton building. Director Spraggins gave a presentation at the Justice Court Judges Conference in Biloxi on July 22nd. Rick Burris gave a presentation at the Waynesboro Rotary Club on July 29th. Shellfish Bureau Director Jason Ryder gave a briefing at the Integrated Ocean Observing System Association in Washington, D.C. on July 24th. The Office of Marine Fisheries hosted the USM Summer Field Program Marine Biology class on July 29th, where they listened to presentations and visited the fisheries labs. Fisheries staff Ellen Coffin, Megan Fleming, Emily Satterfield, and Blake Stringfellow participated in Workforce Wednesday at Bay High School on August 5th. Randy Wilson, Coastal Preserves Director and Coastal Resources Management, gave a presentation at the Southeast Mississippi Learn and Burn in Saussure on July 30th. Marine Patrol participated in the City of Gulfport's Back to School Bash in Orange Grove on August 1st. The NEARS, Emmett Carsons, participated in the Pine Belt Master Gardeners meeting in Hattiesburg on August 5th. And Mississippi Seafood also attended the Great American Seafood Cook-Off in New Orleans on July 25th. Chef Dalton Ferguson with Evie's in Jackson represented Mississippi after winning the Mississippi Seafood Cook-Off in May. At the Great American Seafood Cook-Off, he competed against chefs from 12 other states, and Chef Dalton did an amazing job with his dish. However, Massachusetts took home the win.
Oh, thank you very much. Great, great times. Appreciate that. Any questions? All right, thank you. All right, moving down to, looks like Josh Waters with Trevor, another bonnet head. This is a hot fish to be breaking records with, it looks like lately.
Oh, yeah. So Josh will present it here in a minute. Just wanted to state, so we had a record come in last month for Bonnet Head. Y'all approved it. It went through. We were notified by a member of the public that they thought that record was incorrect, that there was a larger one, which prompted us to review our records, go back through. We did realize that Riley Arms did have that record in July. The fish was slightly larger. So, as we always do, we went back through everything, double-checked everything, made sure it was good. It happened when we were basically redoing and revamping the entire records webpage. Mistakes happen. We've corrected it. We want to acknowledge it here. Everything should be good, and luckily we've got a brand new record this month to overwrite both of them. So let Josh go ahead with it.
Morning, Director, Commissioners. Yep, just like Trevor said, just one youth conventional record this month. And it is Bonnet Head again. Old record was 8 pounds, 15.2 ounces. New record, 10 pounds, 13.44 ounces. Angler was Ben Kane. Here's a picture of the shark. And here's Mr. Kane holding the shark. That's the only record for the month, so just required action. Motion to recommend the approval of the state records.
Thank you, Josh. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Wow, okay. Is there any other business or we had our one comment?
Just like to thank the city of D'Iberville for allowing us to use this, and I know they had an issue with it, but they made it pretty comfortable in here. So I would like to thank the mayor and the city and for taking care of us the best they could with us, and it's definitely worked out good.
Sure. All right. I guess with that being said, do we have a motion to close? All in favor? Aye. Thanks, everybody. Hey.